Okay, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. No changes to the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. All right, indigent.
Yeah, Chantel, that will do with indigent services. The first case that we have for you today is case number 2020-0238. It does appear that this applicant meets all Idaho Code criteria to be eligible for assistance through the indigent program. The total estimated charges is $37,000. The applicant is unable to make the 5-year payment and does not have any other resources available to meet the request. The applicant is also committed to a $50 a month repayment plan upon approval of this application.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve case number 2020-0238.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously.
The next case that I have for you is case number 2020-0242. This applicant does appear to meet all Idaho Code criteria to be eligible for assistance through the indigent program. However, there is an open pending case with the Crime Victims Compensation Program. So our recommendation is to place this case in suspension pending the final determination of a possible resource. And the total estimated charges for this case is $33,000.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we place case number 2020-0242 in suspension at this time.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. Next on our agenda is acceptance of the Bannock County quarterly jail inspection.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the inspection as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, passes unanimously. We signed that already. All right. Wes is not here. Adam is not here.
Cycle back.
So, let's go ahead and we'll go to resolutions. Gotta do find them in this pile. So resolution 2021-83 is disposal of surplus asset property. These are the properties that we talked about last Thursday with the road and bridge. The next is resolution 2021-84, which is properties for the landfill. And then resolution 2021-85, reallocation of funds, and resolution 2021-88, which is the Pocatello Valley Fire annexing properties into their jurisdiction.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the resolutions as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Adam, come on up.
EMT, morning.
Adam
EMTs.
McKinney, IT Director. This morning I'm just re-inquiring about some funds that we had talked about a couple months back to get the Sterling building wired with fiber, and I had presented a budget. It was about $10,000 at the time. We talked about possibly using some of the COVID ARPA broadband infrastructure funds. At the time, you guys had said that you needed to have a conversation about whether or not we would allocate those funds and how they would be allocated. Dave Martinez came to me and he told me they're getting ready to move in there within the next couple of weeks. And so we wanted to see if we could go back around to that discussion about whether or not we can get direct communications in play to come and put that equipment in, because there is about a 4-week lead time for them to get a permit to bring the fiber under the state highway.
We haven't had that discussion yet. We're having a partial discussion on that with the cities this Friday,
Okay.
but we haven't arranged a meeting directly to talk about where we're putting ARPA funds and stuff at this point.
So question on that though, right now we're on we have a antenna that's
Yes.
up, correct?
Yes, correct. We have a point-to-point microwave link that goes to that building.
Okay, so alls we would have to do though is they can move in and run the point-to-point link right now, and you can just drop out the system and bring it back in.
I don't think it's gonna run 30 people.
The issue is not the bandwidth for their desktops, it's the bandwidth for their IP telephones. Once we're already currently have about a dozen people over there using IP
So what's
telephones.
the point-to-point, what's its up and down time?
Its link status is about 600 megs from here to there, but it's not, it's the latency issue.
What's its
because
latency ping?
we're talking like 120 milliseconds. So the issue is that once we get, and we've experienced this, you get 5 or 6 phones, no problem, but you get a dozen people talking on the phone over there and they start to get choppiness. And it's simply just an IP telephone issue. Once we move another dozen, 15 plus people in there, we're afraid that the bandwidth isn't gonna hold for the IP telephone. Now for the internet traffic, their Odyssey, Navigator, things like that, no problem.
yeah.
We're just concerned about the telephony equipment.
I just go ahead and do it. I just find, do we have money in your leftover in your IT budget?
I probably do actually have money.
I would just say, let's just go ahead and get it done. If it's 10 grand to have them punch a fiber line in, that is dirt cheap.
Yeah,
that's-
the quote was just about 10.
I just ran a fiber line 30 feet and it cost me $1,400. So,
Oh, my only concern is the timeline.
Yeah, I don't think in any way, shape, or form we're going to meet October 1st. However, we can, if we get it in progress now, it'll be mid-October at some
the
point.
big problem
The
with,
sooner
with
the better.
those companies and those products like that is just my fiber termination modem. I had to wait 5 weeks for.
Yeah,
And it wasn't that they were not wanting to get it to me. Literally, they couldn't get them off the boat.
they've
and
got
through
fiber
customs.
termination in that building already. They accept
Okay.
that. The issue is the permit to bring it under
Yes.
under the state highway. They told me that's a 4-week lead time on that permit. So bringing the equipment in, I don't think there's an issue there. It's that we've got to wait that permitting
Okay.
time. So the sooner we get it in progress, the better. Even if it ends up being on next year's budget, it's not a problem. I just want to get it in progress.
You're guaranteed it's gonna be next year's budget.
Portions of equipment and things that could land here, so we could pay it partially out of this year's budget.
There's really no equipment necessary for this. We've already got the switching gear over there. They're just gonna basically swap out our microwave link for a fiber link. And that building's already got fiber terminated in it from other companies, so there's a demarc there to bring that fiber in. The issue just becomes getting the permit to bring it under the street and then to bring it into that building. And that's really the mass cost of this. The monthly infrastructure money is not anything compared to how much it's gonna cost to bring it to the building itself.
It's literally.
That's what we're paying for.
This is literally going to be like unplugging an extension cord and plugging a new extension cord in.
Right,
I mean,
our infrastructure's already there existing, the switching gear and stuff. We just need to switch out the bandwidth feeding
Before,
it.
though, would be nice.
It's going to be what they're going to bring their burrow in. They're gonna
Yeah,
dig, and it's
directional drilling and bring it
And
over.
it's the coolest thing to watch. But
Yeah.
I mean, to do it for 10 grand to run for what they're, I mean, that's like I said, that's cheap.
Well, my only concern is you identify the funds.
Okay,
And we don't say yes without funds being
Yep.
identified. That's what we've done with everything, so.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I will identify it. I'll send you guys a follow-up
Concerns?
email message with it.
Nope, just get it started. Like I
Okay.
said, either we'll use some COVID money or we've got budget money, so.
Yeah.
That is a,
Yeah, there should be plenty in the software overline budget, so that, yeah, we had budgeted high for Sophos, so there's
Well,
money in there.
and you might want to ping direct communications and talk to them nicely, and
Yeah.
they might be able to get one of their contractors in before the end of the year.
Yeah, I will absolutely.
I mean,
we have a
and-
good
and-
we have a good rapport with those
And
guys.
I would talk to Mike, just was in here. I would ask Mike to see if he has any connections out with ITD to just see if maybe
push it a little bit quicker.
just make sure that we could walk that permit through, because
Okay.
that might actually get walked through then faster than 4 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Okay. Thanks, gentlemen.
Okay.
yeah, dude, 10 grand is like, for a fiber line, that's like.
There was a lot of pinging going on here. I'm not real comfortable with that. That's why we have HR here. Thank God.
Okay.
You guys gotta watch the American.
Did you know if Wes was coming?
Said he was last I talked to him. I can step up and give him a call if you
Oh,
want.
no, we can, we're close enough, we can have Reed come up.
So,
Reed, we'll go ahead and step up to you.
We are, I have Terry, you guys all know Terry, and then I've got Marnie Spencer, who's our district, I got Marnie Spencer, who's our district director also for extension, just to meet you guys. But I know on the agenda, we just basically are asking to have the budget signed and approved, and in case you guys have any questions on it, so.
you guys gotta do your U of I budget signing stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
Only one though this time.
Yes.
We're only doing one, not 7.
Okay, good, because last time that was kind of ridiculous.
Took 15 minutes, but.
Yes. And I think one of them got misplaced somewhere, and they called back like, could we re-sign them all? No.
My only question on that, and it's something simple, but it just states each vehicle that we will give you specifically, which I didn't see a reason for. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I think mostly that's about so that, in the past, if we didn't have that on there, then we couldn't drive the vehicle. So it's basically,
Yeah.
since we're not total county employees, it would exclude the extension agents from driving the vehicles. And so that's why that got put on there.
Okay, well, like I said, it says, what, an F-150?
Shall provide this.
And it has a VIN
Right.
number, and it has,
No.
I mean, it was so specific that
Yeah. And the reason why it's specific is so that we can actually drive those since the extension educators are not strictly county employees.
my question was, if one of them gets wrecked or one of them, something happens to one of them, do we re-sign the whole contract?
No.
Because it's specific to them vehicles.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it wouldn't be
That's,
anything like that.
No,
No, it'd be fine.
I don't think
Until
it'd
the
be.
next year, we just switch it out.
and I know I saw it in my file here.
Yeah, I have the digital.
Any other questions on that?
No. Nope.
Well, as you guys get ready to sign that, I think Marnie would like to what her role is, and she's got some, well, Marnie.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to meet with you today. I, as Reed said, am the district director, so I supervise extension for the University of Idaho in the Eastern District, so 14 counties here in Eastern Idaho. Bannock County being among the largest and a very well supported extension office. Thank you so much for your support. We're really grateful to you. I was an extension educator for 16 years before becoming the extension director in 2017, and have wanted and had the opportunity to meet occasionally with county commissioners. I think we met a year or two ago when the standardized extension agreements were just having their first year. So thank you for signing that, for approving that. It really is a cooperative agreement with the county and the University of Idaho and with the federal government. I have just a little gift for each of the commissioners today. There is a ball cap in it. Of course, it's University of Idaho Extension. So if you are an ISU fan and want to give it to someone else, please don't throw it in the garbage.
I have a dad that graduated from the University of Idaho.
Okay, you can.
With his MBA from there.
Oh,
So,
perfect. So you
or my
can-
older brother who got his master's in engineering from there. But
Perfect.
we don't.
Yeah, we knew.
Perfect.
It's homecoming weekend right now. So yeah, I don't know if that will go over very
Hey,
well.
make sure to put that in the minutes.
I love it. I love it. So just so you're aware, almost everyone in Eastern Idaho thinks that we are ISU because ISU is here. But anyway, glad to have that. You do know we have a vacant position vacated by Laura Foist in May, who was the extension educator doing Eat Smart Idaho and Family and Consumer Sciences and 4-H. And the university has gone back and forth of how we're going to get approval to fill those positions. And so in a couple of days, I have information due to the college that will then be discussed at the end of October. And I'm hopeful that that will be the last hurdle that we go through to open that position. I wanted to just make sure that you were supportive of that position being filled and ask if you had any questions regarding it.
I actually sat on the hiring board for that position.
Yes, you did.
Last time, so.
Yes, you did.
No,
Which brings me to the next question of wondering if we could ask you to serve again on the hiring committee.
I don't have a problem with
All right, very good. I'll make sure I have all of your information and just
that.
keep you
Yep, reading those
posted.
guys can, or they'll ping Christy and we'll figure out whenever we need to do that.
Okay, wonderful.
There's just some timelines that we'll need to probably avoid this fall as you move forward with that. I
Sure.
would imagine that you wouldn't move too quickly, but
We don't. Once we have
It's the university.
approval to hire, then we advertise for 4 weeks. And then after that, we get the committee together to screen the applicants and then set up a date for interviews, which would just be up at the extension office. Yeah, very good. Well, thank you again, everyone, for your support. We really are grateful and love the work that we do. I think it makes a difference in the county.
no, we appreciate you guys too.
Yes, very much so.
Reed is one of our, we very rarely hear anything negative ever come out of their office. It's awesome, so we appreciate that.
He's a fantastic county chair. Terry is among the very, very, very best of whom we have in office managers in the district. She's helped us do some training with some of the newer office
I
managers.
did read part of your study, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, I actually need to go to sleep on something, so, I got out that study on fecophilia of the Mink Creek area. So.
And my wife read it, so I know that at least 2 people read it.
Okay, there's
I did, and shared it with a lot of other people, so yeah, it's very good. Thank you for
Well, the
your time.
ranchers read it, so.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
I cannot find that at the present
paper.
time, but
Mr. Chairman, I move that we authorize signature of the University of Idaho Ag Extension Agreement and authorize its signature to convenience.
we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, passes unanimously.
Oh, she might have a copy.
I do have a copy, I just want them to make sure that this is the correct budget numbers, and if so, then you could use this if you'd like.
We can just run a print and then sign it and then just bring it to you. It's not a big deal.
Hey, good job, Mark.
Yeah, it's in the pack.
It's on the digital packet. It's just,
It's on the digital thing, so.
Okay.
we're good.
I know
can't.
the original was turned in for.
It's probably earmarked
And I
somewhere.
looked on the packet, it's in there, so.
Okay.
Thanks, you
All right,
guys.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Wes?
I think.
Good morning. You're up.
That's fine.
Okay, what we have is the closeout for the 2019 Emergency Management Performance Grant. That's a funnel through grant from FEMA down to the state, and that's what we use from the county level.
Okay. All right.
Any questions?
I'm good.
Motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we authorize and sign the, here, I want to say this the right way. The grant adjustment notice for the Idaho Office of Emergency Management for closeout is presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. That wasn't too tough.
Nope.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Kyle,
Oh, hey, I had a conversation with the president of the university, and the next time there's another big emergency management training thing goes on, just let us know. Okay.
Morning, Commission.
good morning.
Kyle Burmester, Bannock County Public Works Director. Looked good today, Jason.
Thanks. I knew you'd be here.
I didn't have PT, so I haven't shaved in a couple days.
Good to see you again, Terrell.
Yeah,
You
I'm
back?
back. I'm back. I'm back amongst the living.
All right, today I got for you, first off, task order number 10 between CDM Smith and Bannock County. I'll start off with the small,
Appreciate that.
What was the total
the small
on that
numbers.
for
The
task order?
task order 10,
Yeah, what was its total?
1.996,
You can just stop at 1.9.
Yeah.
right under.
And
$2
let,
million.
just for the record, this is for remediation purposes, correct?
This is for remediation at the Bannock County landfill.
I just really want it to be known, and if anybody's out there watching, Bannock County does spend money for remediation, and we've been working on this for more than just like right now.
A lot of money.
Yes.
We've spent upwards to 15 million so far with going through what we've been going through. So, yes, we've put in a lot of money to remediation. We're getting to kind of the funner part to me is it's not all data collection and investigative work. We're starting to
We're
get
doing
into
stuff.
some of the remediation or remedial alternatives. So the first chunk of that is just kind of our yearly tasks that we do, which is project management, O&M, our annual reports, and all our groundwater off-site and on-site testing. The new thing that's gonna be added to the FY22 is we're gonna do some pilot testing. So we wanted to kind of work it out to where we didn't try to come up with a plan and say this is gonna work no matter what, spend a bunch of money on it. We wanna start out with DQ and, you know, on board with that to where we're gonna try a couple things that kind of do two little separate pilot programs. One of them is where we're gonna hydraulically frack, drill a well in and try to make our extraction wells work better.
Yeah.
We have we ran out of time in our work session, but there's a lot, I'm simplifying it as,
You are.
they run a tracer in the water and stuff and they're gonna figure out how they can grab all that flow, so we're not having any going around us. But also when they're doing that, they're gonna do some injections of chemical to remediate, that could remediate our problem. But the great way we're looking at it is if we don't wanna put any chemical, it still would make a great extraction well. So it's not any money lost by trying this out. But yes, there's high dollar amounts to all these things, and it is an adaptive management approach that we take with it to where this is estimated cost. This year we were about 300,000 less than what our estimated cost was last year. So we're not like set on the money. We're exploring and what works best and where the money needs to go is how these.
It's just good we're doing it, but we're actually doing it with science behind it and why we're doing it, not just throwing stuff in the dark and hoping it sticks to something.
So I'm asking if you'll approve and sign for task order 10 for the FY22 year.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve task order number 10 with CDM Smith as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously.
And let it be shown on the record that we are following the science.
We are following the science.
I've heard that somewhere.
And you know what's funny? I don't know how you follow the pursuit of something because it's not
Next up, we got in our FY '22 budget, we put in our capital heavy equipment line 905 to get a water tank for our 10-wheeler truck. We have one that is got a few patches in it and it's getting very bad. It lasted over 22 years, so we got its use out of it, and we would like to start out by getting this ordered so we can get it in with the way shipping is and stuff like that, trying to get on this as soon as possible. If we could get approval to start proceeding with ordering it.
So this is just the water tank,
This is just a water tank.
and then you're gonna put it on a truck, which is then gonna put the cost over 50,000, correct?
No, you already have.
We
the
already
truck.
have the truck.
Yeah.
We just swap
Why
it
did we
out
budget
tanks.
85 grand then?
We didn't, not for a water truck.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, the
My
water.
note
Yeah,
says
the
it
water
was.
truck wasn't that.
Okay, cool.
No,
There was-
this is just gonna replace the water tank that's bad on a truck,
Okay,
so it'll just be the 35.
not
No.
80, okay.
Yeah.
The notes in the budget say 85, we'll fix that.
No, no.
There was something. There was some. There was something else though that we had.
For our capital, there, I don't know if we specified.
I thought you had a. I thought you had
We
the
had a
water
breakdown
tank, and
of
I
it
thought you
on
had
our-
a
I
sand
don't have my
spreader or a
capital.
crane
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
I've got 85 for a water tanker, 205 for a dump truck, 30 for a sander, 135 for a mower, and 60 for a side dump.
Well, if we did a stainless, it could be 85 to 90,000.
Okay.
We're doing a metal because our last one lasted 22 years, and so we're trying to save money,
Okay.
and we went with the $35,000
So
one.
you already have
Nice
some money
recovery,
savings
Kyle.
for next year.
Nice
Good
recovery.
job.
That's cool, you have money saved for next year. Okay, cool.
Well, that's a discussion we're gonna have later. In one of the requests that they put in. Motion.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the water tank as presented,
Purchase of
or
water tank.
purchase the water tank as presented. Yes.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously.
And does that work, doing it this way with a lot of things that we're looking at trying to get ready to order and stuff? I was, looking at coming in and letting you know what we're looking at and what we're gonna start, whether we're having to bid it or order or whatever.
Yeah, it works,
Yeah.
that you're identifying that we've over budgeted you $50,000 already, so, yeah, it works.
Make a note for next year.
Kyle will find somewhere else for it, I have a feeling.
Oh, something's gonna
It'll be
break.
99.9% spent at the end.
Something's getting broken. Something's getting broken today. Oh yeah, that 50 grand we got to, it just broke today. I don't know how.
I appreciate that, Kyle, so thank you for
Yes.
bringing it in.
Thank you.
Last, work order directive change for the work going on at the landfill. This is for the cell 4, phase 2 project of expansion. What has happened is they've started mining out the material where, their finished product's gotta be, it has to be a certain type of material. It can't be like, topsoil. So they have to actually over mine it and then place the material back in. So what this is saying is they estimated cost is 60,000 to add to this contract, but we are gonna have Great West Engineering monitoring that, and it's gonna be time and materials, so it'll be just what work had to go into that. And we'll come back with that change or amount once this work's done.
Looking at their rates of time and equipment, and then looking at our fees, we're low. We're pretty low on our fees.
They do some very specific things that.
Well, and we figured that would be the best way we could do it, because at first it was just, well, we think it's gonna be 60,000. Well, we wanted to have a little control on that, and so to have that little bit more monitoring of it and what it actually costs, so.
So up to 60,000 right now.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the work order change number 1 with Great Western Engineering as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Kyle.
All right, Mike.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Jaglowski, Bannock County Engineer. I have with me John Thurnagel. He is representing Net Profit. I have before you two items. First item is both are concerning Coyote Hollow Phase 2. First item is a construction bond. This construction bond is for the specific finishes of the subdivision and is necessary according to ordinance to present to the Bannock County Commissioners and for the Bannock County Commissioners to approve by resolution so that we can record this plat today on there. Upon our inspection, Kyle, myself, and Tyson were out on site, spent a couple hours walking through the site, and found that there is approximately $41,000 or $40,000 worth of materials, labor, and equipment that needs to be used to put in guardrails and seating and signs and different things. We have in your packet, we have the agreement to complete work as well as the estimated costs to furnish the work, and then also our punch list that we have in there. And we are here to present that today. If you have any questions, Kyle is here to speak about that. I'm here to speak about it as well, and Mr. Thurnagel is here, and I believe Chad just made it back into the room also.
I'll just ask for Ernie. Did you guys take a wheel and make sure you measured the circumferences of any cul-de-sacs, any roads? Everything's good?
We didn't measure the circumferences, we measured the diameter.
Okay.
Divided by 2, multiplied by 4.
3.14149?
Yeah, 0.75 times diameter squared.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the engineer way of doing it.
just making sure we're tracking.
0.785.
I was up there with Brett, and that other one wasn't. And he told me it was gonna be corrected, and it wasn't.
All right.
My only question is, I know this is our ordinance. Why do we have an ordinance that says that you don't have to complete the project before we okay stuff? You know?
Well, this ordinance, what it does is it allows for developers to finish their final plat and to bond for improvements so that they can sell the product that they're making and help them and encourage them to be able to capture some of the costs that it took to develop their land. I know in several communities, and not comparing Bannock County to several communities, this is commonplace. This is something that developers really enjoy. In fact, a lot of developers would just bond the entire project, have the final plat recorded, sell, and finish the subdivision all at the same time. And so their outlay of cash and time value of money becomes less expensive, and it encourages them to want to develop in that region, in that area.
Well, and it allows you to, as you go through and you punch list that out, some specific things, and if you're hung up on something and it takes 30 to 60 days to get back and fix something, you don't stop the entire project.
Right, and
That's really what it is.
And it's I would see it to be more common in this era because of the supply chain, that question marks that we have out there on different things makes it a little harder to have things like guardrail. Makes it more difficult for subcontractors to get out there and do things like seeding, and restabilizing the site. And so those are some of the things, and it gives an opportunity. For the developer.
And that, I realize that. Yes, Kyle.
And on your question, Commissioner, I think on some things in the past, that bond wasn't there, and so we didn't know what needed to be completed, and it wasn't clarified. We're trying to get that clarified better, so when we do that final inspection, we know exactly, and the developer knows exactly what we want to see and to be completed.
Well, motivation. All I'm talking about is motivation. Motivation to get the project finished and
Right, well, we have 44,000, let's see, $156.24 in a certified check to be delivered to our auditing department. That will be held until this is complete. Once it's complete, then we would make payment back to them being the developers. So here, you're right, Commissioner, here is some motivation to get this done. And it says in here, the agreement says that if this isn't finished by May 31st, 2022, then we take this check and we use county crews to finish this up.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we accept the bond as presented and approve the final plat of Coyote Hollow Phase 2 subdivision and approve resolution number 89 accepting bond and development agreement with Net Profit LLC.
have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nikki, if you start that, I'm gonna have you taken out right now.
Next item, Commissioners, is the final plat. Hearing that the bond has passed, the final plat comprises of 22 residential lots, one lot that is dedicated to the fire district, and one lot that is dedicated to future access on there. We have worked on this project since about November, December of last year, and have followed it all the way through and find that it's ready for your consideration, the Bannock County Commissioners' consideration and approval.
I think I just included it in the last motion.
You did.
There you go.
Okay, well, now we have the rest of the story. All right, so
We got the good pen?
I have two good pens.
There you go.
And I heard rumor that Mr. Thurnagel also has a good pen, so if we need three of them, we got three of them ready to go.
Everybody laughs about that, but you know how many times I get smudged and all messed up, and then they're back down trying to reprint, and
Mr. Dixon.
I know I'm gonna have to go for a drive today. All right.
What I'll do is I'll date this first one, and for the sake of time, I'll date them when you're done signing, sir.
How many lots up there you anticipate being sold?
They're all sold.
Everything's gone?
They're all under contract.
That's cool. So when's phase 3 starting?
Next week,
Okay.
we break ground on phase 3.
Okay. How many of them are coming from California?
You know, that's a good question. Over 80% of them are Southeast Idaho residents, already existing here, so.
Yeah,
That's
that's cool.
phase 1 and 2.
That's cool.
So, yeah, that's,
I went for a drive up there when you're starting to break ground. I'll have to go up there, and people don't realize how kind of a cool that spot is up there.
it is beautiful.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a beautiful spot. And the road turned out wonderful, as we tied onto Green Canyon, and so.
there's going to be a discussion about Green Canyon and some other stuff. There's that area, we're going to have to start working on our 10 and 20 year plan of that whole area. We just have to make sure that we're talking about roads.
It starts growing, huh?
That's
A lot more traffic, a lot more use.
Leave
more
that to-
impact.
Well, in roads, if you plan for what you have now, you're too late. And that's the biggest problem, is people don't understand, well, why do I need a big 4-lane highway? Well,
Maybe not today.
because you're the fastest growing zip code in Bannock County right now. So, cool.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, Ryan.
Okay. So, I did send a few attachments to my agenda item, kind of late. I apologize about that, but on August 25th, we got a letter from the U.S. Department of Justice. It was addressed to Ms. Talbot, And just as a review, I'm just going to read the first line of it. It says, as you know, Bannock County receives grant funding from the U.S. Department of Justice and currently has at least one active award over $500,000. As a condition of this funding, Bannock County is required to develop a written employment opportunity plan and submit a part of the plan, the utilization report, to the Office for Civil Rights, Office of Justice Programs for review and approval. Okay, and then it continues, but it said we hadn't done that. And then it did say, please submit the Bannock County Utilization Report to the OCR for review no later than Thursday, September 23rd. And so it was a pretty short notice to get this plan developed. We have done similar plans every other year for Title VI under equal opportunity, but this is different. And I tried to find something I could use as a template but I don't think we'd ever done anything quite like this before. So, and it's just a little different from the typical EEO6. And so, fortunately, Carrie over at Courts and had found one that I could look up, and there is a good tool online that I could just kind of plug in numbers and walk through. I did have to create a little bit of payroll ran some reports for me on our employees, but I did have to create some classifications that fall in line with this EEO plan, especially regarding some of the law enforcement. But I did put together a draft plan following the tool that was provided, and that's what I had sent you in the email. I think is fairly straightforward. It doesn't, in this plan, it did identify a few things I'll point out. One is we have 444 employees. And what this report did is it classified them into several categories, compared it to state data on who's available in different races and genders for certain positions, and how we're doing as far as utilization. And what it identified is on page 7 as some of the underutilization. So according to this, we're underutilizing white females as technicians, which was not a surprise, and I wrote that in the letter, that it's because a lot of our technicians are operators of heavy equipment, and they're just, our application pools don't attract females. That's just kind of how it's been. Protective services, sworn patrol officers. This was a weird category, because I ended up throwing in a lot of the juvenile detention and detention officers into that, if they weren't like in a rank position. And it's mentioned that we needed, we're low on Hispanic or Latino. And then for administrative support, it was white males and Hispanic females. So in response to this, really, we just need to make sure that we're providing access through equal opportunity, through our website and recruiting procedures, that we follow a fair process. And we need to post this on our website and probably distribute it to elected officials. But other than that, no major like affirmative action steps are required.
Okay. Just real quick, Ryan, what is a fair process?
So when I say that, I mean competitive recruitment, screening, interviews, a selection using usually a panel of people.
A non-biased panel.
Yeah, the procedure that was presented a few weeks ago, I believe, covers that.
Okay.
So no real changes to that or need to happen, I believe. But I did think that identifying, you know, that there are people, Hispanic or Latino category that are underrepresented. Maybe that is an area we'll try to target. If they're available, and we'll do anything to get some bodies in some of these positions, qualified people in these positions.
Well, everybody's trying to recruit.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
I don't think that we're lacking there. But Braden, just make a note that I'd like Ryan to present this when we have the elected officials, so that instead of just handing it out to them, you can hand it out to them, but let's go over it and review it a little bit more so that we're face to
Probably
face.
about due,
Yep.
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
can do that pretty quickly.
And the other title, is it Title IV? Is that what you call it? The title?
We just called the EEO4 report.
The EEO4 report's gonna come up due soon as well, and it'll go hand in hand with this.
Okay.
So, I could maybe do both.
Okay.
Brian?
Yeah.
It skips from step 1 to step 4B.
On what page?
It does, from page 1 to page 2.
Page 2 to page 3, it goes from step 1 to step 4B. Not sure if you were missing anything in this, or if it was a plug and play thing that maybe you just need to copy and paste and correct that.
It was a plug and play from the website. So either, I'll look into that, maybe those steps were just not needed. I can't remember, I'm sorry.
It's a system that's made by the government,
Yeah.
so it probably didn't come out very well.
Maybe just the copy and paste together.
Okay.
Fix those.
Good catch. I'll see if there's something needed. I'll let you know if there is, but I don't think so. Yeah. I can't do it. It just prints out. I don't number this.
That's why I say this is the government at its finest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, when you complete, and here's the other piece, excuse me. So I had to sign up and put myself as the author of this and as the person that, you know, I promise that this information is true and accurate. And at the end of this, at the last step, I just hit submit. So I know there's a signature line here, but it's not really, there's not gonna, when I hit submit, it's just gonna have my signature on it. And so it's not really, there's not a place for anyone else's signature on this report. So
Well, on the record here, we'll just
okay,
okay it and okay you to have your signature on it,
okay,
so that it's on the record. But like I say, there are a couple little things like that that kind of look at and see if we can clean them up a little bit before we submit it.
sounds good.
The-
So on the 23rd, it's due, which is Thursday. What would you like me to do?
And just, we'd approve it and
I'd go ahead and approve it. Before you get ready to send it, have Nancy look it over again.
or
Sounds
cut,
good.
copy and paste and you probably have to read letter it yourself because those systems are
It
not.
won't even let me do that.
I'll show you a trick.
Okay.
But we'll approve it. I mean, I read through it and the information is good information. Thank
Okay.
you for your hard work and on the deadline.
Yeah.
That always makes it more challenging.
Nothing like burning it at the midnight oil to get it done.
So, Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the EEO utilization report for submission pending a quick review of the numbering as indicated, and then authorize Ryan to submit it under his name.
You have a motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, you
Thanks,
good?
Sheriff.
All right, Tori.
Morning,
Good morning.
Tory Danner, coroner. So, this is the agreement for pathology services between Bannock County and Ada County.
I have no problem with it.
good.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the pathology agreement with, as presented from Ada County.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Any other concerns?
Sir, I think everything's going well. Step around.
Need your signature on this also.
Sign that.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have a consignment agreement with Primetime Auction. This was submitted by Tyson. Do you have any comments?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the primetime auction agreement as presented.
Have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. August 2021 Commissioners' Proceedings. You know, when you look at this, we have a lot of meetings.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the Commissioners' Proceedings as presented.
A motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. In the consent agenda, it is the time for beer and wine. Alcohol licenses, boy.
Giddy up.
So,
Paper, rock, scissors.
it's a great thing that they've,
Oh no, they just did a header page instead of bringing them all in individually.
yeah, Michelle did a great job there. She- I'm giving her credit. I thought she's the one to come up with it, so she, brilliant. After that, we have certificate of residency approval, salary rate approval forms, restricted spending request, and minute approval for September 9, 13, 14, and 15. Oh, Tori left. On these salary rate approval forms, the job title is on-call chief, or deputy coroner. So just, both of them are on-call deputy coroners, we don't have a chief deputy then?
Not yet.
Okay.
That one is in
It's on its way.
process.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
should have it on Thursday.
We have to have one, we just don't have it.
Well, not, I just wanted to make sure that one of these weren't,
Yeah,
No, it's a
his-
different person.
and His
Yes.
effective date will be October 4th. But there's $6,000 in next year's budget to help
oh,
fill in gaps with
Glad you
those
got
two
that
people.
one.
okay.
I forget to sign my own half the time.
I just say, one was moving out of that position, I didn't know if. I was gonna give you a bad time about this restrictive spending request. The oil, I appreciate it. But you come up $50,000 at the end of this year.
See that? I heard once that you can save some money in one area, you can spend it in another area.
No, I agree with your reasoning there. I believe that if we can purchase some stuff this year,
Get it done.
we're a whole lot better off.
Yeah.
When are they gonna stop paving for the year?
Done this week.
That's
Done the right up to-
when are the plants shutting down?
They'll still be for a little
They're gonna
while,
run?
so they're gonna need to be.
There's a couple in there, Terrell.
Trying to get done with Pitcock Road later next month. We had since Pitcock Road got kind of pushed to the end of next year,
Mm-hmm.
we used that money that we were gonna use to pave that road and switched out a road we were gonna pave next year. I'm gonna paving it right now.
Okay.
So that the monies will
Yeah.
even out. We are looking at in the next week.
Being done.
starting up with Pitcock Road, with the widening.
I was excited about that.
It needs it.
Well, and
A lot of business going on up there.
they already have 44 of those lots sold. I mean, I don't think people, I remember when we started that subdivision, everybody's like, they'll never sell those lots. Yeah, okay.
Done.
The
Ready for a
doc-
motion?
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. With that being said, we'll be at recess till 11 o'clock.